Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former three-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Check. Watch what he's doing. Get that quarterback.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? Coming off of a loss on the road, and you go right into it, that's a difficult task.
Push him back.
On second down, Cook. They find some open field here. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. Shifts by him. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the second and third level and deliver blocks.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
And he gets it to Funchess complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick, but When you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football, because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that, because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. Let's see if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. It's complete to Diggs. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit, because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Cousins. The throw complete to Beebe. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take you through.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
That's it, baby. You got one.
Marlon Mack now heading back out there. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English.
T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 76 yards. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Zerline good with a PAT, and that makes it a 21-10 game. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively. And now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. Lets it fly for Thielen. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. That pass was heavily defended on 3rd down, but you know what? He's one of the best in the league at body control, and he showed you why there.
So what that tells you is that the guy throwing the football understands his guys, doesn't he? Give them a chance, put it up there, and realize that even in a battle, they're more than likely to...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Chad Beebe, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. They haven't fully climbed the mountain, but they've started the ascent here with that score.
I like that, right? I think they've left base camp now, okay? So they've started to move their way up the mountain. Long way to go, but at least they know it's manageable.
So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 34. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And the catch made by Hilton. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Right here.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and that'll bring up second down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On second down now. It's Mack, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing, and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Play action now. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a throw left sideline here is complete.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Going to get it to BB here. It's a jet sweep. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Let's go.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right?
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Check 4, check 4. Leo. Check go.
They'll run here with Mack. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Check 3.
To throw on 3rd down. Hamilton. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Rock it.
Looking to throw. Hamilton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Down. 10 Lobo. 54. Mike, 54. Bound to lose 1. Check 99. Check 99. There. Get it.
On 3rd down, a run by Mack.
Go.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They go play action here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Ben Gideon. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough task here, though. 3rd and long. He's going to fire. It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 37. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Ready? 18 Gators. Check. Hey, lock him. Check. Ready?
On 2nd down, it's Mack. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped, and the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50, the 40, the 20, 10, 5, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here are the Colts to take over. They were winners last week over Tennessee, and they've got the lead here as well. They start this drive out 1st and 10.
Switch.
6-6, bullet high. Shoot.
First carry for James Conner. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, Hamilton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, that forced the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
And so far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Let's go, Heavy. Let me know what you got.
First down, here's Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way. Cousins now. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Mike, 55. Check. 55. Bravo. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Get it.
A final shot before break. Hamilton looking for Campbell downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Zerline connects on the extra point. So we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. And any time a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Counter. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Mack. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hamilton. Campbell making the catch. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down now, it's Mack. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll try and run forward with counter. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They were losers last week to Carolina, but they've got the lead here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there. I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
53, Mike, 53. And keep it up.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
15 yards on the play, 1st down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we've just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays. Fire.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the throw. bam, right to the receiver successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that will shave one more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Mack. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, Hamilton. Catch made here by Campbell. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. So with the yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Watch the slap. Watch the slap.
Ready?
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead now up to 14. A 10-play drive that time. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Cousins to throw it. That'll be complete to Cook. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the pressure gets to him again. Ben Banagoo. He's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And that is incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Throwing is Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Hey, team 6, team 6. Team 7.
Staying on the ground with Mack. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the gun on 3rd down, Hamilton, and he connects with Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, You don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Have confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
A run by Connor on first down, and a good one, as he'll get about 7 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So Cousins and the Vikings down by 2 touchdowns. 2:05 to go. They'll have one play here just north of the 2-minute warning. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. To throw is Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
Here's Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 12 yards there and a 1st down. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Yeah. Snap.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Ready. 60 or. Alert.
It's just me.
Ready.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Let's go. Ready. Number 53. Mike 53. Here we go. Check 6 guys.
They start the drive with Cook. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Indianapolis, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charlie.
Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance. Jump in the stands, no man up, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash.